I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah.
The Caliphate System, based on the precepts of prophethood in the Islamic Maghreb, Al-Aqsa state.
In the financial and monetary sphere, interest rates applied to bank loans, both old and new, will be abolished. Bank loans will be granted free of charge, without interest, fees, or charges. The ultimate goal is to permanently eliminate bank credit and suspend banking activity in the medium term. A non-usury loan agency called Al-Qard Al-Hassan will be established to provide interest-free loans to families and businesses, and a public treasury called Bait al-Mal al-Muslimin will be set up. Cash payment of salaries will be required in both the public and private sectors, along with weekly salary payments. A new metallic currency will be introduced, and the requirement for mandatory insurance will be lifted. State-owned and Sharia-compliant financial investment funds will be created, including the Zakat Fund, the Sadaqat Fund, the Jizya Fund, the Waqf Fund, the Tax Fund, and the Road Solidarity Fund, all of which will be managed by public bodies. Saving and hoarding will be prohibited by eliminating all financial instruments designed to encourage savings by individuals and businesses, and by prohibiting their sale or exchange. Furthermore, measures will be taken to abolish pension schemes and liquidate all pension funds, as well as mutual health funds. The currency's value will be fixed and indexed to the price of precious metals, such as gold, silver, and copper. It should be noted that the national currency will not be convertible into foreign currencies. To reduce household and business over-indebtedness, the state is implementing a program to convert loans with usury interest rates into interest-free loans, according to the following procedures. An agency attached to the Treasury, called Al-Qard Al-Hassan, will be established for a specified period. Its mission is to convert loans with usury interest rates into interest-free loans. Borrowers, whether individuals or legal entities, must submit their application to Al-Qard Al-Hassan, requesting the conversion of one or more loans, accompanied by a certificate from the lending banks indicating the outstanding principal balance. Al-Qard Al-Hassan will then settle the borrower's debt with the lending banks. The borrower will repay the loan installments to Al-Qard Al-Hassan without interest or fees, according to the agreed terms and schedule. All investments and contracts entered into by the state relating to savings products will be liquidated. The trading of financial instruments bearing usury interest and encouraging saving will be prohibited. The following operations will be prohibited: the trading of interest-bearing bonds, the securitization of receivables, the sale of futures contracts and derivatives, the trading of cryptocurrencies, interest-bearing crowdfunding, collective investment schemes and securities, and venture capital investments. Real estate collective investment schemes, repurchase agreements, and asset securitization will be prohibited. Free financial zones will be abolished, and the activities of capital investment companies, banks, and financial management firms will be suspended. The state will withdraw its stakes from banks and financial institutions. Speculation and venture capital will be prohibited. Leveraged currency trading and forex trading will be banned. Financial brokerage will be prohibited. The stock exchange and central securities depository will be closed. The futures market for financial instruments will be abolished, and a Sharia-compliant stock market will be established for listed companies. This market will be physical and will prohibit speculation, margin trading, leverage, interest, fixing fees, and futures contracts. Public financial companies will be liquidated. In the area of taxation, all forms of tax exemptions or privileges granted to individuals and businesses will be eliminated. The tax on small vehicles will be abolished, while the tax on luxury cars will be increased. Value-added tax, or VAT, on essential goods such as food, fuel, gas, medicine, and clothing will be eliminated. Value-added tax on luxury goods will be increased. Income tax will be eliminated on low wages. The domestic consumption tax will be abolished, and tax evasion will be penalized. A thorough review of tax lists and data will be conducted. Property tax on rental properties will be increased, with the exception of primary residences, or primary residences in cases of polygamy, and secondary residences, which will be exempt. The municipal tax and the tax on capital gains from real estate will be abolished. The tax on small vehicles will be permanently abolished, while the tax on luxury cars belonging to the wealthiest individuals will be significantly increased. The transition from a national tax-based financial system to a zakat-based system will be gradual, proceeding in the following stages. First, taxes on low-income individuals and on essential goods will be eliminated. Second, the tax burden will be reduced, and taxes with the same objectives will be consolidated. Third, a single tax system will be implemented, combining all taxes levied on individuals and businesses. Regarding zakat, the funds allocated to the zakat fund will be distributed by the managing body on an exceptional basis to the poor and needy residents of disadvantaged villages and hamlets, who are rightfully the most appropriate recipients of zakat funds. Priority is given to rural communities with the highest poverty rates, particularly villages located in zones 1 and 2 of the poverty map. Zakat is distributed weekly to needy families. The organization responsible for managing the zakat fund oversees the distribution schedule. Zakat is allocated to poor families, meaning those whose income is below or close to the internationally recognized poverty line. Zakat is distributed every Friday in front of mosques. The weekly zakat allocation is estimated at 24 dirham in cash per person, but this amount may be increased on a case-by-case basis. To be eligible for zakat, one must be a Muslim, a permanent resident of the designated poverty zone, 21 years of age or older, and have a daily income below the threshold set during the first phase, which is less than $3 per day. Initially, zakat is distributed progressively, based on the zakat fund's income, first to the needy in the first zone, then to those in the second zone, and so on. Men and women who meet the requirements can receive zakat even if they belong to the same family. Regarding sadaqah, or charity, donations are distributed either directly to individuals or by depositing them with the sadaqah fund. The sadaqah fund distributes donations every Friday morning near mosques. It is also responsible for supervising and monitoring the distribution both in rural and urban areas. The weekly almsgiving amount per person is set at 7 dirham in silver in middle-income areas, 14 dirham in high-income areas, and 21 dirham in very high-income areas. It should be noted that 1 dinar is equal to 4.25 grams of pure gold, and 1 silver dirham is equal to 2.975 grams of silver. Each beneficiary receives a card which is scanned with each payment. No one may receive sadaqah more than once on any given Friday. The conditions for granting zakat do not apply to sadaqah. It is permissible to receive both zakat and sadaqah on the same Friday. It is also permissible to give sadaqah to non-Muslims, provided they are monotheists. Begging or soliciting sadaqah is prohibited outside of Fridays. Similarly, it is forbidden to use young children to collect sadaqat.
In the sector of insurance, considered a rent-seeking industry that enriches a small group who have made coverage against often improbable risks or losses their livelihood, car insurance contracts will be abolished, and car insurance policies will no longer be mandatory for either personal vehicles or commercial vehicles used for professional purposes. Furthermore, mandatory vehicle inspections will be eliminated. It should be noted that the elimination of these inspections does not in any way absolve the driver of civil liability in the event of an accident. A fund called the Road Solidarity Fund will be created, covering the repair costs of damage caused by all types of road accidents, with the exception of accidents resulting in bodily injury to others or caused by a violation of the highway code, a technical malfunction of the vehicle, or failure to comply with vehicle safety and robustness standards. The Road Solidarity Fund is financed by revenue from the vehicle tax, according to the following terms: a significant increase in taxes on large vehicles and luxury vehicles owned by wealthy individuals. Taxes on medium-sized vehicles remain unchanged. Light vehicles are exempt from the vehicle tax. All insurance contracts taken out by the state are terminated and will not be renewed. Regarding insurance contracts taken out by individuals and legal entities, existing contracts retain their terms until their expiration, while taxes on new contracts will be increased. Concerning pension funds and health insurance, all types of pension plans become optional in both the public and private sectors. All payroll deductions will be suspended to guarantee full payment of wages to employees without any deductions whatsoever. The situation of all retirees is regularized by the payment of the withheld but unpaid capital, with priority given to older employees and retirees. The legal retirement age is abolished, thus allowing any employee to work in all sectors of the administration and public companies until they voluntarily express their wish to leave their position by submitting a resignation request at least 3 months before their planned departure date. Beneficiaries and heirs can also benefit from this new system. Those who retired before the date of the pension system's abolition will have the option of either remaining in the old system or requesting a transfer to the new one and receiving the balance of their pension capital. The state will mobilize all available resources to ensure the success of this operation and will continue to support retirees by providing them with free medical care and all other health services. Furthermore, retirees wishing to return to work in the civil service will have the opportunity to return to their former positions or be offered new roles. In the area of improving purchasing power, salary and performance bonus systems will be unified and integrated into the base salary. A general salary increase will be implemented based on the best compensation currently offered within the civil service. In this regard, and within the framework of the new administrative status of the state of the Caliphate, the salary system will be established on 3 pay grades. The first grade will receive 13 lol dinars per month, the second 10 dinars, and the third 7 dinars. Income tax will be reduced with the view to its complete elimination. Bank transfers of salaries will be abolished. Salaries will be paid in full, in cash, without any deductions. Weekly salary payments will be instituted. Pension contributions will be eliminated, and any sums already deducted will be refunded to their beneficiaries. Mutual and health insurance contributions will be eliminated. Retirees will have the option of returning to work or remaining under the previous system. A free interest loan agency will be established. A zakat fund will be created, along with an agency responsible for its distribution in rural populations. A sadaqat fund will be created, along with an agency responsible for its distribution in rural and urban areas, particularly in front of mosques. Friday will be designated as Sadaqah Day. A jizya fund will be created for foreign residents. Measures will be adopted to stabilize and lower prices and strengthen household purchasing power through setting profit margins for suppliers, eliminating value-added tax or VAT on essential goods such as food, fuel, and gasoline, creating a road safety fund, increasing taxes on luxury cars and allocating this revenue to this fund, eliminating mandatory car insurance, eliminating the requirement to present a vehicle inspection certificate, the introduction of free highways, public transportation, and parking, free healthcare services including medical consultations, examinations, tests, and medications, free education at all levels as well as school transportation, free water bills immediately and electricity bills progressively, monthly assistance for vulnerable social groups such as married women, divorced women, and widows, monthly assistance for other vulnerable groups and their dependent families such as orphans, the elderly, people with disabilities, street children, and the homeless, housing subsidies, including all 6 categories of subsidies available to anyone who applies, free highways, and the elimination of tolls, free public transportation, including all types of trains and buses in both urban and rural areas, the elimination of the following deductions from wages: pension contributions, mutual insurance contributions, loan repayments, and insurance premiums, the elimination of income tax for minimum wage earners, the elimination of subsidies on goods, the repeal of existing direct aid programs, the elimination of taxes on light vehicles, the elimination of mandatory car insurance, the elimination of the requirement to present a vehicle inspection certificate, the cessation of food exports to meet domestic demand and reduce inflation, the suspension of goods imports until the publication of the list of exceptions. In the transportation sector, the state commits to guaranteeing free, high-quality public transportation services without social or territorial discrimination. The state commits to guaranteeing free essential services such as landline telephone service, drinking water, and electricity, progressively. Given that, in return for individuals respecting their obligations under the family charter, the state undertakes to meet all their economic and social needs, particularly those of vulnerable groups, by alleviating their suffering through social protection programs and by taking all measures aimed at ensuring an equitable distribution of wealth and the fruits of development, as well as the complete eradication of poverty, unemployment, and ignorance. This commitment includes providing financial assistance, alleviating the cost of living, reducing social and regional inequalities, and stimulating trade, industry, and the economy. The state pledges to guarantee universal and free access to social services in the areas of health, education, housing, employment, transportation, and essential services for all citizens. This objective will be achieved through wage increases, tax reductions, and improved purchasing power by lowering the cost of living. The state will also provide 6 types of housing assistance, exceptional aid for fathers, aid for exemplary families, and free access to essential services. Furthermore, it will offer employment opportunities for unemployed youth, support future spouses by offering 2 types of housing assistance, a substantial monthly allowance for the wife in addition to that paid by the husband, and increased and guaranteed dowries. A special dowry allowance will also be granted to newlyweds and employment opportunities for unemployed couples. The state will also guarantee free quality education and access to excellent health care. Prices for goods sold wholesale and retail in the industrial and commercial sectors will be fixed. The same applies to prices for services provided to the state, the private sector, and consumers, according to the approved price list for goods and services in those 3 sectors. Profit margins on the sale of goods, both wholesale and retail, in the industrial and commercial sectors will be fixed. The same procedure applies to profit margins for services provided to the state, the private sector, and consumers, according to the regulations governing profit margins in the aforementioned sectors. Public sector jobs will be created as needed. Industrial hubs for modern industries, trades, and crafts will be established to generate employment. Business development zones will be created, tourist zones will be developed, and commercial tourism, shopping tourism, and mass tourism will be encouraged. The problem of vacant and unused commercial spaces will be resolved, and these properties will be developed for commercial purposes. The licensing system will be abolished. Obstacles to deep-sea fishing will be removed to reduce youth unemployment. Barriers to entry into the taxi industry will be removed. All land-based and maritime licensing systems will be abolished. Taxi licenses, regardless of size, will be revoked and their use will be prohibited. License holders will be prohibited from transferring, leasing, or charging for their licenses. The small and large taxi systems will be merged into a single system. Restrictions and barriers to entry into the taxi industry will be dismantled, particularly those affecting unemployed youth looking for work. The use of a taxi by anyone other than its rightful owner will be prohibited. Fishing licenses and permits for the high seas will be revoked. All fishing agreements concluded with foreign countries or entities that have plundered the oceans for years will be suspended until they are reinstated. High sea fishing is prohibited for private companies, while it is permitted for individuals, subject to compliance with regulations concerning the type and size of vessels, quantities, and authorized fish species. Operating licenses for large intercity buses will be canceled. Their operation will be suspended until further notice.